Hello and welcome to Where Am I to Go podcast. Today we are in Sturgis, South Dakota. We just went to the motorcycle museum, and while we were there we were told that we should come see the Saab Museum, like Saab automobiles. And so we came across the highway. It's not far from the motorcycle museum. We ended up at the Sturgis Car Museum. And we are here with Darcy. She is going to take us through this museum, talk to us about the automobiles they have here. And I'm assuming that it's going to be really heavy on the Saab automobile. So welcome, Darcy, to Where Am I to Go podcast. Let's hear your story.
I have a lot of stories to tell you. Okay, thank you for coming into our museum, first of all. We really appreciate having you guys here.
Well, I appreciate you doing this on such short notice.
Yeah. Well, no problem at all. I'm going to tell you just a few highlight points where we're at right now. We are in our memorabilia room, and in here you're going to see a lot of Saab memorabilia, a lot of old cars and everything. And we also have a scale
distraction.
over here.
We've got a distraction.
I got a big distraction here, and his name is Dave. But anyway, we also have a scale on display in this room. That's from the Home State Gold Mine, which is the largest the largest mine here in Northern America, and it's now being operated by Sanford. And they're doing amazing things underground there.
Where's the Home State mine? I thought that was in Lead, wasn't it?
It's up in Lead.
I thought they closed that down. I thought they let that all flood.
Sanford has taken it over, and the scientists have discovered how black matter has been designed up there in space, what it's all about.
Okay, so they're not mining it, actually.
They're not mining it. We have scientists down there now that are discovering all kinds of things that is going on in space.
Really? Mm-hmm. From underground? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so did they pump the mine back out, or are they not that deep?
They're not that deep, but there's still a lot of water down there.
Okay. They're
down pretty deep.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. You should go up there. It's amazing. Yeah. So anyway, let's get started.
Okay.
We do have a replica of Henry Ford's car in here in the memorabilia room, and that's because this car has quite a story to it.
I'm curious about this story. It says it's a 1901 Ford quadricycle.
Correct. It is a replica car of Henry Ford's quadricycle. But there's a story to this. Henry Ford built this quadricycle in his garage, and his wife had a lovely view from her kitchen window. She would see him come out of his garage, walk around the garage, scratch his head, go back in. And then one day his best friend came over, Thomas Edison, and he walked around the garage, went in, and they both proceeded to come out with sledgehammers in their hands. They started tearing down the wood part of the garage door, but that wasn't enough. They had to go up into the bricking and tear that down just to be able to push out Henry Ford's quadricycle. So it just goes to show you, very, very intelligent people sometimes don't have the common sense of what they're building and what their size of the area they're building it in.
Now this really isn't a big automobile. It's just a buggy, basically, with, it looks like bicycle tires.
Correct.
And what did it have for a powertrain?
The powertrain he used at that time was just a bicycle motor.
A bicycle motor.
Yep. He didn't put anything in it until he started developing his Model Ts.
Now, when you say bicycle motor, I think of pedals.
Like the motorcycle bicycle.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They had actually a motor for a bicycle back then, and a motorcycle.
Okay. And so not real high top speed or anything else,
No.
but it looks basically like the old doctor's buggy.
Yeah, lucky to get 10 miles an hour with these.
Still better than walking.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the centerpiece as you walk in.
Yes, we have this in here because this is the only place we really had room for it right now. So we get cars that come and go.
Okay. And you've got some display cases over here.
Yes,
Saab
we do.
Wooden shoes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, tell me, where did Saab originate? It's
Trollhättan, Sweden.
In Sweden, okay.
in Trollhättan, Sweden, and Trollhättan, Sweden is also where our trolls came from when we were kids.
Okay,
remember the little doll
right.
with the crazy hair?
Yeah.
They were, that's where the myth of them started, was in Trollhättan, Sweden.
Okay.
So that's where that started, and that's also where Saab had airplanes going on in 1936. They were into aircrafts, passenger airplanes and stuff. And then when the war started, they sent their jets over to the World War II, like we all did.
Right.
And then after the war, in 1947, those jet engineers divided their warehouse in two so they could keep their employees working that were already working, and to keep everybody hired that were coming back from the war. So those jet engineers designed a 92 Saab two-stroke car.
Okay.
And two-cylinder, two-stroke, and they did a prototype of this car for 3 years, so they figured out the design they wanted to use in 1950, and that's the car that they ran with. And that was the first car they actually rolled off the factory, was the 1950 92 Saab.
So it's a fairly new car company, not like your Ford or Oldsmobile.
No, not like them that
or
started
Mercedes
back in
or
the 1800s or anything.
Okay. And then were they pretty much just a Swedish company at that point in time? I mean,
Yes.
as far as they were making cars for Sweden, not necessarily for world
Nope,
use?
they were basically making cars for Sweden. They were they were the first, basically one of the original water-cooled cars. Lots of plugs in here. And they're front-wheel drive. So they made them for the people of Sweden so they could go through snow easily in the wintertime, and gave them a good car to drive around. And then as time goes on, the Saab developed from the 9.2 to the 9.3 to the 9.4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And then to when they came into their four-cylinder inline car in 1970 for the 9.9 Saab.
And when did they start importing them into the United States?
1956 was the first year that we saw Saab come to the United States.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and it was basically West Coast and East Coast, not much in the Midwest area. More so in Denver area, but not up here in South Dakota.
Okay.
Or North Dakota.
And now as we walk through into the large gallery here where you've got all of your cars displayed, the very first thing we see is a push-me-pull-me car.
Correct.
It's got two front ends.
Correct. This is a Saab 900. And what happened with this car was actually designed in a tech room in Wellington, Delaware at a Bill Jacobson's Saab dealership. And what those boys were doing is they were making a trailer out of the back halves of these two cars, and they would take, on this trailer, they would take around all of their paraphernalia material to different Saab dealerships and to Saab conventions. And then what Bill Jacobson did with this car, they duct taped the two front halves together. The very front of this car facing south. This one has the engine and drivetrain in it, and the end facing north just has steering and suspension. And what this car does is we put it out in the parking lot with pylons set up like a race course.
Right.
Two people get into this car, one with all the power and the steering and the engine, and the other one sitting backwards with the steering wheel unlocked and only able to see through the passenger door and the rear view mirror. So as the driver on the front of the car is going around the pylons, the person backwards is trying to figure out which way they're going.
That has got to be a blast.
Yeah, and then halfway through the race course, they stop. You do a Chinese fire drill. Remember what that is? You get out, run around the car, change positions, and then whoever finishes the race with knocking down the least amount of pylons would win something. In this case, we would probably award the Saab beer that we had.
Saab beer.
Yeah, we have the museum grade Saab beer here,
Okay.
It's actually brewed for us by the Sturgis Brewing Company, and we put our Saab oil. They put our Saab oil can labels on it for us.
That's cool.
Yep. So it's very entertaining to have that here too.
Well, this has got to be fun to watch that race.
Yeah.
So how often do you do that?
This will probably. We're hoping they put it out for the rally this year.
Okay. Was it out for the rally last year? Or?
No, it was in here just for show and tell, but hopefully next year we're going to get it out there outside. So what we do next here is I tell you a Saab story.
Oh, a sob story. Okay.
Yeah, Saab went bankrupt in 2000.
Okay.
GM comes in and takes them over, and then GM takes 11 of Saab's special cars throughout the years. They take them over to Trollhättan in Sweden, and they restore them from the ground up, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on them.
Okay.
And then GM starts building cars with Saab, and they come out with what they call the Aero line. And these were very high-end cars, very safe cars. The Saab was totally into safety from the day one. So I'll tell you about some of these Heritage Collection cars that we do have here. And we're going to get started here on this one here. This is a 1983 friction tester. And for a lot of you that don't know out there, friction testers are used at every airport throughout the world and the United States. And these things run all throughout the day and the night. What these cars do is they throw water down onto the runway, and they have a fifth wheel. This is old school. This is 83
Okay.
technology. But this fifth wheel will drop down, and it has an airplane tire on it. It sits there and runs down the racetrack or the runway, and it's measuring the coefficient of the friction as it's running down the runway. So also, when you hear that screeching sound as you're coming in for a landing, that's
Right.
rubber being laid down onto the runway. So that causes too much friction. Airplanes will slide off the runway with that, so they have to remove it with a scraper. They'll send a friction tester down again to make sure everything's good to go, and then the planes start taking off and landing again. This is probably done after every after every third or fourth airplane takes off and lands, they'll do
Really?
it again, all throughout the day and the night.
And Saab is the one that makes most of the...
Saab did it in '83, and everybody, because it was designed by aircraft engineers, this Saab company, that every airport thought they would, in 1983, that they all run these cars.
Really?
So they
Are they
did
still
that.
running the Saabs?
Nope. Right now, whatever fleet service is at that airport, that's what they're running. Like
Okay.
whether it's Chevy or GM or Ford or a Dodge. So next time you're at the airport, look past your plane to see the runway. If you see a fast-moving vehicle running down the runway, that is the friction tester.
I had no clue.
If you see a slow-moving vehicle, that is not the friction tester.
And that was designed by Saab.
Saab, well, no, friction testers were actually designed before that, but they contacted Saab in 1983 to run
Okay.
the friction. These cars at all the airports.
Okay.
But yeah, they're still
Wow.
used today. It's there for our safety.
Huh. Tire pressure with a full water tank, 40 pounds,
Yeah.
with an empty water tank, 30 pounds,
Yeah.
PSI. And
So
this is just
this is old school technology, as you can see when you look into the car, because there's the friction numbers.
oh yeah.
That would read out from the fifth wheel and stuff. And there would have to be one person driving and one person sitting there with the computer on his lap and talking to the tower.
Huh. Wow. I had no clue.
So here we're coming up to Eric Carlson Street. Eric Carlson was a Swedish race car driver for Saab. And in 1960, Saab gave him a 1960 Saab 9.6 car to go to the REC British Road Rally race with his navigator, Stuart Turner. So they won the first road rally race in 1960 and were not presented with a trophy. And they asked, how many times do we have to win this to get a trophy?
Right.
And the Brits told them 2 times.
Oh,
And so they didn't ever get their trophy?
Nope. Saab gives them a car in 1961, and they go out racing again. They win that race too, and still asked, "Do we get a trophy?" And they said, "No, you have to win it 3 times in a row."
Oh, geez.
We think what was up is that the British wanted a British person to win and not a Swedish person at that time.
Well, of course.
So 62 rolls around. Saab gives Eric Carlson in 1962 Saab to go racing in, and they win that. And finally, the British put on a big Hollywood production for Eric Carlson and his navigator, Stuart Turner. They have, over here, we have a video going of Eric Carlson and Stuart Turner doing their road rally race, and which is pretty cool. But in
that's a neat video.
So
it's kind of funny. You're looking at this and you're seeing Triumphs and BMWs.
W's and Mini Cooper. And
yeah, there is a Mini Cooper there. And this thing, I really hate to say it, it looks like a flattened, pregnant Volkswagen somehow or another. It just doesn't even look like it fits in this race. But they ended up smoking on everybody.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
So Eric Carlson in 62, they win, and this is what they did for him. They put on this huge Hollywood production in London at the Hippodrome, and Eric Carlson finally is presented with a huge trophy, and so was...
Oh, and they have the car being on an elevator coming up in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, and they spin him around. And
wow.
But this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Yeah, they don't do things like this anymore.
No, no.
So after Eric Carlson, after he's going on to the Monte Carlo races and the Gran Turismo races, Saab takes his 1960 9.6 car up to Canada and races it around to show it off. And then Saab takes this car down to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and one of the later on Saab CEO for Saab, Bob Sinclair, he drives this in the Hershey, Pennsylvania hill climb, and he takes 3rd place.
Wow.
So the transporter truck comes to pick this car up, and this car's nowhere to be found. It showed up 41 years later in 1991 at an estate sale in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Are you serious?
And the gentleman that purchased this car got it for $400. His name was Eric Johnson.
Oh my gosh.
And the car was totally rusted out.
Oh, no.
He knew it was red at one time, and he knew this was a race car because plexiglass on the door and the quarter glass.
Right.
The driver's seat is actually pushed all the way back. It's on long seat rails and it's welded to the floor. And that wood steering wheel is wrapped with twine in racing position, hand racing positions. So as you see Eric Carlson in the video, he gets airborne a couple of times in this car, and he would get splinters on his hands.
Really?
So that's why he wrapped the steering wheel cover. So this car goes up to Eric Johnson takes his car up to Princeton, Minnesota, and has his car restored at another Saab dealership that is well known for their body shop. And a gentleman by the name of Chuck Andrews. He restores this car as you see it today.
It's beautiful.
It is, and then he's driving around to different car shows and stuff, and GM gets wind that this gentleman owns Eric Carlson's 1960 car. GM wants this car. They want it to be part of their GM car collection, so they offer him a 2008 Colby station wagon that they just rolled off the factory in Trollhättan, Sweden, and he took the trade, so that's how this car ended up with GM's collection.
Wow.
So
is this all GM's collection in here?
These 11 cars were GM's collection, and in that, when GM went bankrupt in that last hour, they had to put these cars up for quick sale. So they went on worldwide, on the internet worldwide, and people started bidding on him. Tom Donnie, the founder of this museum, was bidding on him, and his best friend, Bill Jacobson from Wilmington, Delaware, was bidding on him also.
Oh, no.
So
they still friends?
Yes, they figured it out early enough. They pulled their money together, and they bought all of these cars, and then the next thing they were like, what are we going to do with them? So they had to look for some place to store all their cars. Tom Donnie, he's had his own collection of Saabs to begin with, and from his dealership, and so will Mr. Jacobson, he also had a large collection.
Wow.
So you'll see some of his cars in here, along with Tom Donnie's. Tom's cars actually have Tom Donnie's Motors license plate on the front of them, and all the Sturgis Car Museum will have that license plate on them, and then the GM's cars say the GM Heritage Collection on all the windshields.
A 3-cylinder, 2-stroke, 850cc engine is what was winning all the races.
Yep, that's what he was winning in these.
Wow.
He was quite a guy. And then over here, Talladega in 1987, they want to know what these 9,000 Saabs can do, because they're running the Garrett turbochargers. So they send 3 of their techs from Talladega over to Sweden to the factory, and they pick out 3 of these 87-900 Saab turbos, and they bring these 9,000 cars back here, and they throw them up on the Talladega's racetrack. They call this the long run. They go over 62,000 miles in 20 days, just stopping to change the drivers, fuel and tires only. Their average speed with these 3 cars was 132 miles an hour, and they set 21 world records for endurance and performance with these cars.
Wow. So they're not they're very well precision machines, and have they taken off at all in the U.S. as far as the market, or
the market took over big time after Talladega showed everybody in the United States what they were doing with these Garrett turbochargers on them. So they became a kind of a high-end dollar car.
Okay.
So they were mostly appealing to like doctors, lawyers, professors, teachers.
Right.
Especially in the eastern part of the United States and the western world. Over in California area and stuff. They became popular around the mid part of the United States here, pretty much when the 900 Saabs came out. The 900 4-cylinder inline car pretty much put Saab on the map here, and then when we progressed into the 9,000 and the 900 Saabs, these were very, very popular also.
They definitely stepped up their game as far as styling and some of that kind of stuff, because
their safety is unbelievable, how safe these cars are and how well they built these cars.
Huh. And you've got, how many cars are in here?
There are over 100 cars in here and over 75 cars out back that are for parts or that can be restored. Tom still has his dealership, so he still buys and sells Saabs.
Okay. And you've got one here that's that you've got a big picture of it out on the salt flats.
Yeah, that's Tom's. That is a 750cc 67 Saab Sonnet 2.
750cc.
Yep, and this is his salt flat racer.
And how fast is he going with his salt flat racer?
When he started, he was only hitting 98 miles an hour, record speed. He's progressed. His last time he was at the salt flats, he got up to 129 miles per hour, and that's his 17th speed record that he set.
With a 750cc.
We're talking the 750cc, correct.
Pushing that much weight, and
yeah.
Wow, it's got eyeballs on the front where the
this is Tom's crazy.
Where the headlights go. He's got a little bee, mad bee, and
that's for our college up in Spearfish. Or the Black Hills University. They're called the Yellow Jackets, and he also taught football up there.
Okay.
As he did here in Sturgis for the Brown High School also. But he's got he wants to go back to the salt flats and hit number 18 record. And when I take you into the engine room, you'll see his new design of what he redesigned the two-stroke crankshaft using some of his components that he made, and that's why he's able to hit some of these speed records at the salt flats.
Okay. Then you've got a 66
Yep.
to 96 Monte Carlo 3-cylinder 2-stroke again.
Yep, and this car was owned by Mr. Bertel. He was a good friend of Tom and Patty's. He set quite a few records at the salt flats himself, and before he passed, he went over to Sweden to the museum over there, and with pictures of his car, saying that he would like to donate his car to them, and they didn't give him no warm fuzzy feeling. So he came back home and told his wife that he was not going to donate it to the Swedish museum, and that if anything happened to him, he wanted his car to come to Tom and Patty's museum.
How cool is that?
So he did pass away, and Tom got a phone call, and he went down and got Mr. Bertel's car, and since it's been here at the museum, it's been taken back to the salt flats and gotten some more speed records.
Really?
So he still has people that set world speed records for him. And I'm sure that this next August that Tom's 6797 car will be going again, and who knows, Mr. Bertelli's, maybe his car will go back again. So you're going to see the 900 Saabs. Those are the first Saabs that had the inline 4-cylinder engine in them. And that was a big movement on Saab's part for going from that little 2-cylinder 2-stroke to the 3-cylinder 2-stroke, and then they used Ford's V4 engine.
So did you have to mix the gasoline for
Yes.
the 2-stroke?
Yes, in
So
both,
you had to...
both in the 2 and the 3 cylinders.
Okay, so you always carried your 2-stroke motor oil when you filled up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because a lot of these early cars, they have a place on when you lift up the hood, there is a place on the rod that holds the hood up for the can, that would hold the can of oil.
Oh, really?
And that would be on the cars that would be running the single Solux carburetors, the 3-cylinder 2-stroke or the 2-cylinder 2-stroke. Those you just put the oil into the gas tank,
Right,
and
with
then
the
you put the gas in. And then when they went to the 3-cylinder 3-strokes, you would actually mix. They had a big oil canister on the inside of the left fender well, and that would direct what they call direct injection of oil into the engine itself.
Okay, so...
And then the oil would mix into the crankshaft with fuel, with the gas.
This basically looks like a 3-cylinder snow machine motor.
And that's what it sounds like.
Oh, really?
Like a snowmobile or a motorcycle.
Huh.
Or a lawn boy, some say.
Now, I did not know that Saab made motorcycles.
They did not. This was the...
Oh, it says BSA on
Yeah,
it.
it's a BSA motorcycle, a British motorcycle, but Mr. Bob Sinclair, who's the CEO of Saab, he's also the creator of the convertible cars. He had his tech people pull out his BSA engine and put a 3-cylinder 2-stroke Saab engine into it.
Oh, okay.
So now he's no longer with us anymore, but his bike is here in front of the convertibles that he's created.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then he stuck the Saab emblems on it. So a lot of people think that, I didn't know Saab made a motorcycle.
Yeah.
No, they did not.
Huh.
And then we have some other motorcycles in here too.
And you've got a 3-cylinder 2-stroke Saab wagon.
These are so cool.
I don't know that I've ever seen a Saab wagon. They're a 2-door wagon.
Yes, they're a 2-door wagon, and some of these had a third seat that would come up, as you'll see around the other side of the museum. But it would have a third seat that would pop up
Okay.
here, and where two kids could sit facing
backwards.
Yeah, and this was a family station
And what
wagon.
year is this?
This is in 1966.
1966. Yeah. It looks like they were trying to copy the Nomad. It just didn't become as popular.
But it was pretty cool, pretty fun riding vehicle.
It's a sharp looking car, really.
Yeah.
The one that they were racing is kind of a awkward looking car, but this one here, when they made it into a wagon, it's got the same front end appearance, but the wagon actually looks a lot better, I think.
Oh yeah, on the earlier cars, the 50s and up, you can kind of see how the jet engineers designed a wing on the side. The 47, the 3 prototype cars they made, the side of the car really looks like an airplane wing. Looks like we don't have a real car here because there are no prototypes left, but it almost looks like the 1939 Batmobile.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
And then we have the after our 900 Saabs here and the 99 Saabs, we have the sports cars. These are the Saab Sonic 2s and 3s cars here.
I don't know that I've seen many of these. These almost look like the 280Zs or
Correct.
the Opals, or they a little bit longer hood, short back end, and the grills on these are only probably a foot tall and all the way across the front.
Yeah.
They kind of come down into a sharp point. And then this one, that's a Fiat. I was going to say that one there almost looks like an MG or a Fiat.
Yeah, that is a Fiat 124 Spider.
There you go. Okay.
That's in here. But yeah, these cars are beautiful cars on the Saab Sonic 2s, like Tom's race car. It has a curved back glass on them, and we keep those back glasses covered up here in the museum because they're worth over $10,000 a day for the back glass alone.
Ooh.
They no longer manufacture these back glasses anymore, so
you got to keep them covered.
yeah, it's just like a 944 Porsche too, how it wraps. They don't do those either. And these ones, the Saab Sonic 2s have like the dolphin front end look.
Right.
And then you go to the more of the square front end on the Saab Sonic 3s. And the Saab Sonic 3s, you could access the engine from the top of the car instead of pulling the whole bonnet up.
Oh, okay.
And where on the Saab Sonic 2s, you have to pull the whole bonnet up.
The whole front end lifts up.
Front end lifts up.
Yeah.
And they did that because it was so much easier for mechanics to work on these cars. That's why all the Saabs cars open like that until we get into the later Saabs Aeroline cars. That they started with a Wagon and stuff, and then GM just pretty much took over the Aeroline and expanded it.
These are really nice looking cars. The 67, the Sonic.
Yeah, all of our cars have stories on them. Some only have like 44 miles on it.
That's
the
all?
yellow one down there, yes. This car here, this 1967 car, this is the VIN number is a low VIN number on this. It's 104 out of 258.
Wow.
But everything in here
And
has
you've got
a story.
2, 3. You've got probably 12 of the 3-cylinder 2-stroke 67 Sonic 2s, and then,
And then you
the
have
Sonic, or these are Sonic 3s, right?
The Sonic 3s run that V4 engine, the Ford V4.
Okay, and you've
engine.
got several of those.
Yeah, and then the one of the GM Heritage cars is one of these cars too that's up on that we'll see when we get to the other end of the museum.
Okay. Then we've got one that's painted red and white.
Yep, this is called Sadie. This is actually this 96 Sadie was owned by Larry. They called him Stroker Williams, and he was quite a guy too. They have actually a memorial thing for Stroker Williams each year at the Saab convention. Somebody will win the Stroker Award. And this one here is really cool because this is a 1965 9.6 sedan. And this is basically a love story of a couple that met. They both own Saabs. and they met. They had a blind date and stuff, and this car went all the way from Albany, Oregon, all the way to Albany, New York.
Really? And I like the license plate.
Yeah.
And because it's a two-stroke, it says oil first.
Yeah. Most people, the biggest problem with Saab drivers in these early days, they would forget to put the oil in.
And I'm sure they'd burn them up.
And then they'd burn them up.
But still, was it expensive to rebuild the motors in these old ones, or?
No, because it's just a head and a block, three
and a set
pistons.
of rings, yeah.
That's it.
Wow. You've got several of these from in the 60, 65 era.
Yeah, of the 9.6 styles. And this 9.6, this is a 73. And it's
Really?
the later years, and it carries the Ford V4 engine in it.
That engine almost looks like you could pick it up by hand.
But it's still pretty heavy.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're talking the engine's only 18 inches long and 18 inches wide. It's small, but it's a little V4.
Yep, it's the Ford's V4.
And how many cc's was it? 1700 cc's.
This was 1700 cc's.
So this one would go twice as fast as the 65.
Correct.
And here's one with a V4 73.
Yep.
And it's another wagon.
Yep.
It's got the back seat in it, like you were talking, with a doll sitting in the back seat.
Yeah, this one was nicely preserved. Nice station wagon. We have a couple in here that are not as nice as this.
Now, what is this little car? It's a little race car.
This is a Saab Sonnet 2, and this is belonged to a Minnesota Vikings fan, and this is the 1969 with the V Ford.
With the V4.
And with the Solix carb on it.
And it's got a little window in the hood for, I'm sure, ventilation.
It's a little scoop, yep.
A little scoop for cooling
racing.
it down. And
yeah,
wow.
just like that Sonnet.
It's got roll bars in it, and it's all set up.
Yeah, it's all set up.
It's a cool looking little car. And then here's one that you got split in half.
Yep, this was put out by the Saab dealerships. Go to the Saab dealers by the factory, and they just wanted people to understand the integrity, the structural integrity of the cars, and how much metal Saab put onto their cars to make them the safest cars in the world. And then Volvo followed them.
Okay.
And then Mercedes followed them.
And it's got the airbags deflated and sitting out of the steering column and the glove box. It's got the seats cut so you can see how much cushion they have. The seat belts are all set up. The side panels have cushion in them so that you're not right up against the steel in a rollover or a wreck.
And then they had the child seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the child seat folds down from your regular seat.
Correct, and you could seat belt your child in there. And I don't ever remember seeing any other car manufacturers that did that.
And it's even elevated to where your kid would be able to see out the window. Yeah, that's
pretty cool, isn't it?
It is cool.
And then Jerry Seinfeld borrowed a car from Tom Donnie to the 5th episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. And this is this 1965 Monte Carlo.
Okay. And you've got the video of the...
Yeah, we got the video going of Jerry Seinfeld talking about the car to David Letterman. And then Tom Donnie actually had to drive this car in long shots during the videotaping of the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, because believe it or not, Jerry Seinfeld's professional driver could not drive this car.
Why?
He's never been in a car like this before and couldn't figure out how to drive it. So Tom did all when they did long shots of supposed to be them in, he's supposed to be in the car, Jerry Seinfeld, but he's not. And it's Tom driving it. And then for close-up shots, Jerry Seinfeld could drive the car, but his driver
What's so
professional
different
driving.
about driving it? What
I don't know if he had a problem with the shifting of it or what.
Okay, so do they have like a regular 4-speed transmission in them?
3-speed or a 4-speed.
Okay, on the column or on the floor?
On the column, which they call freewheeling.
Or
which-
3 on the tree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just, on the freewheeling vehicles like this one is, that Steinfeld borrowed, you could go up put the clutch in and go into first gear. And as long as your RPMs are up or your speed's up, you didn't have to just clutch again. You could just let off the gas, go down into second, and keep going. And
Okay.
they call that freewheeling.
So they were all really synchroed as far as the
Yeah.
transmissions.
Yeah,
Wow.
just like a constant velocity, like a mini bike or something
Uh-huh.
like that. And over here we have the Vigan cars.
The what?
The Vigan. It's called the Vigan, named after the F-16 Vigan
Okay.
fighter jets that Saab had over there, the Swedes. And these are their fast cars. They're
Okay, and these
convertibles.
are all
These-
what, 2000s,
These
2010s?
are basically from 1999 to 2000, and these are the last of Saab's cars before GM came over, and then GM of these next set of 4 cars down here, those are the GM Heritage cars. The front ends are more pointed, more
Right.
aerodynamic, and that's what GM did with Saab when GM took them over. But Saab
They
was
made them
already,
look more like every other car on the road.
but Saab was already heading into their aero line with
Right.
the vegan cars and stuff, and their 9.3s and the 9.5.
It's kind of, nowadays, almost all the cars look alike. It's
Yeah.
kind of sad. Back in the
Yeah.
day, when you saw this coming down the road, you're going, well, there goes a Saab.
Uh-huh.
Or,
And I look too anymore, since I started working here. I look everywhere I go anymore just to see if I see Saabs out there on the road driving.
right.
And you don't,
But you
you'll
had,
see them once in a while.
you had a lot of these kind of oddball looking cars, the Renaults.
You had the Renaults, you had the Fiats, the box,
yeah,
the
the Fiats.
four-door box Fiat,
A
the
Saab
124.
dinghy. So they had
Yeah.
boats?
Back in 1950, Saab actually made these dinghies, and they're so lightweight. They're all aluminum, and Saab actually had a trailer for these, but we don't believe there's any trailers left.
And you could tow, they were set up to tow with your Saab.
Yeah, you could sew it behind your sedan or your station wagon, and then you'll see that the red station wagon over here has original Saab roof rack on it.
Okay.
And this one here has thanks. And this one here has a,
Saab cooler.
yep, but it has an aftermarket roof rack on it. The one that you
Okay.
could put on any old car.
And then they also made
They
motorhomes to
made
tow
the
behind?
Saabo in the 60s, yes.
The
And
Saabo.
And this camper is only 176 pounds, the body of
Really?
the camper alone. So it's very lightweight. It can be pulled behind a 3-cylinder 2-stroke car, in which they did, and they actually ran natural gas back then. Propane wasn't used in the trailer parks back then. They used all natural gas.
And this is a little trailer that would be equivalent to like the Scamper, that I think is what they
Correct,
call them
yeah.
now. It's fiberglass.
Yep.
And they had a suitcase that had all of your silverware and plates and cups,
Mm-hmm.
a little table, some chairs, a cooler, a tarp, an awning that was kind of tent-like.
And that's what
Out
they
front.
use this for, because they say that this actually sleeps 5. Well,
Okay.
there's 2 people that can sleep inside with the table down, just like on a normal
Right.
camper with the bench seats. And the kids, the other 3, would sleep out here in the tent.
And this thing only weighed, when it was loaded, it only weighed 175 pounds.
Yeah, that's before you would put anything in it, yeah.
Wow. That is just unbelievable. It looks like it should be so much heavier.
Yeah, and it's not.
It's amazing that a little 2-cylinder car could pull this thing around.
Yeah. Yeah, they would, It was just amazing. There's only 2 of those left in the world. We have this one here, and a couple in Wisconsin own the other one, and they
And
still.
how many of the boats are there?
I don't know how many of these boats are left. I do know there are no trailers left anymore.
Actually, that boat's a pretty cool boat too. The gunnels are pretty high to where you could handle a little bit of rough
Yeah.
water out on a lake.
Yeah, and only a 4-inch oar. You're not going to go very far.
Well,
either,
that's true
yeah.
too.
But this cutout car is GM's car. This is one of the heritage
Okay.
car collections that GM took from Saab and took over to Trollhättan, Sweden. They just repainted it. This is all numbered with the safety features of this car, of the different steel and stuff, and how many. I mean, some of these have 3 layers of metal on them.
Right.
And
And so GM kept the safety factor up.
GM, yeah, because everything that GM used over in Trollhättan, Sweden to do these cars were all Saabs
Okay.
components.
And then when GM sold or went
Yeah,
bankrupt, who
then-
took over Saab then?
Spiker did in Denmark.
Okay.
And they had them from 2012 to 2013, and then they let go of them.
So Saab's not being manufactured
No, they
anymore.
were tried to get picked up by another company. They were supposed to go in with a Japanese or Chinese company, and something happened with the deal, and it didn't go through. So that was the end of Saabs.
Well, so are parts getting really hard to get for all of
Yes,
these Saabs?
yes, they are.
So nobody's really picked up the manufacturing
No, and the
aftermarket or any-
aftermarket isn't. There's some pieces out, aftermarket pieces for the arrows, the GM arrows, but you're not going to find anything in these earlier cars anymore.
Wow. And then you have a Aspen police force
Yeah,
car?
this was actually used up in Aspen, Colorado.
Wow.
They used the Saabs up there. This was the 9000 Saab that they used, the 9000 turbo. The front wheel drive of these cars is so great. I can only compare it now to like the Subarus,
Okay.
because
And
they
they only made front wheel drive? They didn't make an
Yeah.
all-wheel drive?
yes, they did. GM did.
Oh, GM did an all-wheel? This is so cool. I didn't pay any attention when we first walked in here. All of these 62, 63, 64s, 56 are all suicide doors also.
And this green one up here, this is that army green color. It's a 1950 Saab. That's a
Wow.
6-volt system still in that car. 2-cylinder, 2-stroke. Everything else here has pretty much been converted over to the 12-volt system as far as the early
Okay.
cars go. But there's only 4 of these 1950 cars left in the world,
Really?
and we have one here.
Wow.
And this one, I'm sure it likes to spit out oil, but I'm gonna have you start this car up so your fellow listeners can hear that
What it sounds
quirky
like.
sound.
I
like,
get to start it up?
Yeah, you get to start it up just like Seinfeld says. It looks weird, it smells weird, it sounds weird.
This is way too cool.
But jump into the
Okay.
driver's seat of
I'm
this
jumping
Suicide.
into the driver's seat. I'm opening up the suicide door, and it's got seats that are actually quite reminiscent of the Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, they're a low back seat.
Actually, it feels a lot like what the old Bugs did.
But these
It's got a
were-
good headliner in it.
Yeah, they have the headroom in these are amazing because, like you saw, 6'4" Eric Carlson get out of this car.
Right.
So
And it's got a little mirror that's stuck on the dash.
yeah, they did that
Yeah.
from that was on their cars from the get-go till they started out with a '99 Saab, and then it went up into the headliner to the roof.
Okay, now is this one a 3-speed or a 4-speed?
This is a 3-speed.
Okay, and we
and
got the
it's-
3 on the tree. Now,
yeah.
what's the shift pattern on the 4-speed ones?
Same thing. You just got one more gear going down, so you got first, second, third, fourth.
Okay, so and where's reverse? So it's in the same H pattern with
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
at the top of the H, and then the bottom of the H is second, then over and up is
push
third,
over, up and third,
and then down is fourth,
and reverse is all the way
back
and down.
Down. Okay.
So this is already, we started this up already today, but first thing you would have turned the choke on.
Okay.
And so this car is in neutral, and I have the emergency brake on. So go ahead and turn the key on.
Okay.
Till it glows, and that's all you're going to do at that point. And this is the part where the lawnmower comes in. You got to grab this with your 2 fingers, yank it out hard, and let go as soon as you hear it start.
So you got to turn the key with one hand?
Nope. You're set already. Just leave the key alone.
This is where the starter's at.
Yeah, so just go ahead and
yank it out. Okay, so we got a little pull handle, and you pull it out.
Let go. There you go.
And then push the choke in. Are we in neutral?
You are neutral.
So I can let the clutch out.
Yep.
It sounds just like a snow machine.
Yeah, doesn't it? I love that sound.
Yeah.
Wait till you smell, because you're gonna.
Oh, you're gonna smell the 2-stroke oil.
Right now, it's puffing out white smoke and oil.
Okay, and yeah, there's nothing quite like that 2-stroke motor oil smell.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, can I put it in reverse?
No.
Wow. It does sound cool.
So we just run it for a little bit, and then we shut it down. And
Okay, so do you have all of these cars? Can I go ahead and shut it down?
Yep, you can shut her down.
Do we have all of these cars ready to roll? Do you drain the gas?
Tom drains the gas on a lot of these. The oil is drained out of them. He uses some additive to keep them lubed.
Okay.
We have pans underneath all of the cars because some of that stuff comes out.
Right.
And
so he could basically start any of these at any time and run them if he wanted to.
Correct. Yeah, we'll take them into the shop area there, and then he's got it. Every car has a notebook in it that he has all of his notes in it, what he's done to that car. So he knows when he goes to grabs a car, he knows what he has to put back into it to get it running again.
Okay.
So he's really efficient on that stuff. He's a hell of a guy. He's quite a mechanic. It's unbelievable of how many hats he wears.
And just out of curiosity, do you have a blanket registration license plate for these things to where you could take any of them out at any point in time, or do you got to license them every time that
because he carries his dealership license, he has a dealer plate that he can put on these cars and drive it out and see what, test run them and stuff. And the people here in town, they love seeing these cars. They wave and.
Oh, I'm sure.
And some people just don't even know what these cars are.
Well, yeah.
So.
And with the suicide door, it's so easy to get in and out.
Yeah. And they made it really easy. And then, fun fact, in 1960, the suicide doors go away. And they go to the regular car door.
Oh, in 1960.
Yeah, and then 1958, this is a 1958 93B. Tom sold Jay Leno this same car, but Jay Leno's is gray. But the fun thing about 1958 is that everybody was able to start to be able to bend and curve glass windshield.
Okay.
So all the split window glass goes away, and everybody gets a full one-piece windshield. And then in have you heard of the term semaphore?
Semaphore.
Yep, semaphore.
Nope.
In the 40s and 50s, nobody had turn signals. We all learned how to use our arms when we're riding our bicycles, going right, going left. Okay, this is what Volkswagen and Saab did, and I'm not aware of any other company doing it yet, but there might have been somebody else. Stand here at this line, and I'm going to turn this car in. Okay, I'm going to go left.
Okay.
Look up.
Up here out of the side window.
It comes out of the pillar.
Right.
And
that flips out of the side pillar.
Yep, out of the side pillar, and it has a regular turn signal on the steering column.
Wow.
And then I'm going to go right.
Is that cable operated?
It is. It's electric.
It's electric.
Yep.
It's got a little solenoid in there. And you've got your pillar between your door and your window. And when you hit the switch, then that lifts up and points the direction that you're turning.
You're turning. Yep.
Wow.
Pretty ingenious thing.
Yeah, it is.
For Saab and Volkswagen to do that.
And I didn't realize the Volkswagen did that.
Yeah, Volkswagen did it in their 1959, 58 cars.
Okay.
And Saab, because of those jet engineers, they're more safety features. They actually had a shoulder seat belt on their early cars.
Really?
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yeah, because
I
some of them
heard
had
that seatbelts was kind of the downfall of, was it Studebaker or Packard or one of them, because if their cars were so unsafe, you had to be strapped into them. Nobody wanted to buy the things.
Yeah, most of our cars, our American cars, we all did the lap
Now you left the
ones.
key on.
Just for your showing.
Just, yeah, I just didn't want you to leave it on so that
No, I always do that. So in 1957, 56 is the last year of semaphore cars for everybody. 1957, another store is born in Germany called Hella. Hella makes all the headlights, turn signal lights, side marker lights, corner lights for everybody in the world.
Okay.
And they have the original H4 lights that you'll see on a lot of rat cars and the hot rod cars.
Wow. There's another one with those side blinkers right there.
So cool.
This is, yeah. Wow. So Saab was really kind of innovative in a lot of ways.
Oh, very, very much innovative. Those jet engineers, what they started out with, and then what Saab came in with them to keep going with the safety features. I mean, in 1959, none of these cars had a glove box door on them. Well, they put a glove box door in 1959 for another safety feature. To keep the stuff from flying out of the glove box. And then they added this little vent panel up here on the top of the frame of the door. That actually, when the doors are rolled down, that turbines the wind around you so your hair's not blowing around in your face.
Oh.
You would have a big problem with that.
With the hair blowing around in my face?
I could see you would have a big problem with that.
You know, and I tell people, of all the things I've ever lost, I miss my hair the least.
Yeah.
You know, it has not bothered me at all not having that blowing around in my face. Wow.
But see, I get to clean this up every day, so be careful.
I did that?
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
But yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't a two-stroke.
Well, I don't know. I've got a Corvair that every time I start it up, it has an oil leak underneath it.
And we do have vehicles in here that belong to other people that are donated or on loan. Like these two World War II vehicles, they are on loan from the Liberty dealership in Rapid City.
Okay.
That has the Liberty Jeep and the Liberty Volkswagen down there. He's got his 1944 Ford Jeep in here and his 1952 Dodge M37.
Wow.
And those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're restored rather nicely too.
So they're going to eventually expand, add a door going that way that'll open up into another building. And we're going to be bringing in some other cars here. We have a lot of people that would like to bring their cars in here for display purposes on loan and stuff.
Now, I was at the Cord.
That's Tom.
Okay. I was at the Cord Duesenberg Auburn Museum, and they were telling me that they encourage people to park their Cords, Duesenbergs, and what was the other one that I just said? Auburns.
Auburns, yeah.
Yeah, they encourage them to park them there, and what they do is they show the cars, and then if somebody wants it, they call 2 weeks in advance and say, I'm going to go to a car show in Kentucky or whatever. And they come on in, the museum will replace their oil, and check their brakes and make sure that everything's ready to go. They take their car and then they bring it back. And that way they're able to keep a big selection of these high dollar cars on display, because people are looking for a garage to keep them in, and everybody gets to enjoy them. It's a fantastic museum.
Because of people today, it's like a lot of people that come in here is like going, I got this beautiful car, and like I had a couple in here yesterday from Colorado, Parker, Colorado, and his parents are from Wisconsin, and they have a beautiful Saab Sonnet 3 car like this one here, white. And he kept telling me, with his dad standing right there, he's like, I don't know what my dad's going to do with this car. He goes, and I go, well, have you ever let your son take it out to drive it? And he said, no. And I go, will you let your son take it out to drive it? He goes, no. He goes, it's my car. He goes, I don't want anybody driving it. And he goes, he spent 6 hours in here. And when he left, he told me, he goes, he took Tom's card and he goes, I think I'm thinking about donating my Saab Sonnet to your guys' museum.
Wow.
And his son was just like going, wow, Dad, that's a big thing
Yeah.
to do.
Well, especially
So, I mean, that's what kind of people that we get to come through here and stuff when they see this and see that we have a nice home for cars and stuff, and a passion for them. It's amazing.
Well, the thing that's really amazing is that there are so many Saab museums in the United States.
Yeah, like 0. Yeah, we're the only one.
How many are there in the world?
Well, one in Trollhättan, Sweden, and one right here in Sturgis, South Dakota.
So if you're in Sturgis or anywhere near Sturgis, this is the place you've got to come see, because it's a one of a kind.
Correct. This is a place where right off of I-90, exit 32, you can't miss us. And I mean, we have fabulous cars in here, and everything has a great story to it. Like the Saab Sonnet, the very first Saab Sonnet that Saab made in 1956. These cars are fiberglass body with a aluminum frame, and they're riveted together, and this has that 3-cylinder 2-stroke engine in it, sitting backwards.
Sitting backwards.
To Ford, I'll have to show you on the replica car we have down there, but they have the motor sitting backwards to put more weight towards behind the wheels to keep the car, give it more leverage.
And let me describe this car. This is very comparable as far as appearance to, I would say, the 54, 55 Corvette.
You got that correct.
When you look at it, you would almost swear that this thing was a Corvette, other than it has a great big Saab story right on the front
Right
of
on
it.
the front of it, yeah. And that's what Saab was looking at, because they wanted a race car. They wanted to go out racing again, other than the early, the 60s cars Eric Carlson was driving.
And now we've got a 3-cylinder, 2-stroke motor in line. This thing is doing open top. It does 100 miles an hour. Racing trim, 120 miles an hour. Acceleration 0 to 60 in 12 seconds. Speeding gears. Now this is interesting. First gear is 25. Second gear is 50. Third gear is 77. And fourth gear is 100 miles an hour.
And that's wrapping out.
Oh, I'm sure that's wrapping out. But it really is a beautiful car. I don't know what the price point was in comparison to the Corvette, but
well, they
you could sure fool.
They didn't build it to sell it. They were racing, and then when they took all these 6 cars, they made 6 of them.
They only made 6?
Only made 6, and these are the colors they made.
Oh, wow.
They made a
yellow.
And then this is number 2, this is number 1, the yellow one. The number 2 is this car here, the orange one. Number 3 is a red car, privately owned. Number 1's at the Trollhättan Museum. This number 4 car had quite a story to it also. After Saab, they took all 6 of these cars to the racetrack, and they were going to go race them in the SCCA, and they were politely informed that they might as well not unload them because they can't race them here, because they had to have 2,500 cars made like everybody else there. So they decided to either sell them and put them in the museum. So their number 1 car went to the Troll Hunt Museum. We have the orange car, the number 2 car here. Number 3 car is red and it's privately owned. The number 4 car, I was going to say, has quite a story to it because this car showed up in 2 different barns in Sweden. The top half of the car, the body, this is a lime green car.
Okay.
The top half was found underneath a wood crate with hay stuck on top of it.
Oh, geez.
The frame was found 40 miles away in somebody else's barn. And so Saab knew where the frame was, but they didn't know where the body was. So after the people had passed away from those farms and stuff, Saab went in and the relatives told them they were there, and Saab went in and put the car back together. And a gentleman in Germany bought the number 4 car.
Wow.
And then the number 5 car is blue. It's in the Troll Hunt Museum. And then the number 6 car was bought by Tom's friend Bill Jacobson, William Jacobson, and he drives this car around, and it caught the eye, and everybody says that that's our speed racer car for the cartoon of in American cartoon.
And what are these worth right now?
I don't think that you can put a value on those cars
They
because you only had 6 of them.
6 of them.
But Eric Carlson, the famous race car driver for him in the 60s, wanted to race those cars so bad, and they wouldn't let him even drive it, that he snuck his cousins into the museum, and they took the measurements out of the 2 cars in the museum and went home, and he built that red one you see down there.
Okay.
But he didn't only do that one, he made 2. So Saab gave him the number 7 VIN on his red car and the number 8 VIN on his yellow car.
Wow.
And Tom and Patty were able to get the number 7 car from Eric Carlson.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so a lot of history, a lot of cool stories.
A lot of memorabilia.
Yeah.
This is a really cool museum. I didn't know what to expect when I showed up here, but the history and the story of Saab is quite interesting. Yep. And I really appreciate you taking us through here, Darcy. This has been fantastic.
No problem. Like I said, we just enjoy this place. It's a great place. We get to meet all kinds of cool people, and it's just amazing when we start up that car, the look on people's faces. And the gentleman I had here for 6 hours the other day, my God, when he started that car up, I thought he was going to start crying.
Really?
Yeah. It was brought back. They've had 13 Saabs in their lifetime, and we have a car bar. Like I said, in the summertime, we have Saab beer that we sell that's made by our Sturgis Brewing Company.
And you got lots of t-shirts
and a lot of Saab memorabilia and stuff that we sell.
Wow, this is just amazing, and it's easy to find. It's right off of I-90.
I-90 at exit 32.
And this is if you're in Sturgis for the motorcycle rally, if you're just going through Sturgis for any reason, this is a place to stop. I had no clue.
Yeah, this is
wonderful.
This is a really nice place, and we are a Harvest Host.
So are you?
If anybody is out there that's a Harvest Host camper, look us up on the website. We're here.
You can park here and spend the night.
We got 5 spots here. Yes, we do.
Wow.
You can get water here. You can dump here. And if you need electricity, we do have 1 spot that has electrical.
Okay.
So we do charge for those. But other than that, Harvest Host, they either can come through our museum or donate to our museum, or buy something out of our gift shop.
That is cool.
Stay.
Yep.
What are the check-in and check-out times?
Well, when I'm here in the summer, and if Patty and Tom are here, it doesn't matter. But we ask people to check in before we close the museum. But because I'm here in the summertime, I have my RV here. I'm a Harvest Host worker.
Okay.
And Tom and Patty are here most of the summer, and they have a little apartment in this place. So basically, if it's not me, it's Patty that's checking them in and stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's really cool. And a lot of they like coming here and leaving their RVs or their because they
Right.
pull in something or leave their camper and go
Cool.
look around.
Well, I so appreciate your time.
Thank you so
We're
much.
going to go ahead and wrap this one up. And I always finish out my podcast by saying the world is full of wonder and people need to get out and explore. It's amazing what Sweden has brought to America. Is
Yes.
about all I can say with
Yeah.
this one. And everybody have an absolutely wonder-filled day.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
amazing.
you.
Absolutely amazing.